the IPL won't be the same because a number of top West Indies players have been released or not retained by their IPL franchises.
Yeah, apparently flair is not enough to make them be retained.
Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
Greetings, Sports DTM fans, and welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle, your channel of undiluted sports content. Raymond and I are here to talk about the recent announcement by the IPL franchises. And IPL 2022 is upon us already, and a number of West Indian players have not been retained by their IPL franchises. However, three of the players who participated in the 2021 edition have been retained by their franchises. Well, we have Andre Russell Raymond and Sunil Narayan, both play for the same team, Calcutta Knight Riders. They've both been retained, as well as Karan Pollard, who plays for Mumbai Indian. Talk to me. Only three.
Yeah, that is shocking. I can't imagine that Chris Gayle wasn't retained. Some of these players who didn't make themselves available to be selected in some of these tours weren't retained, surprisingly, because they're making themselves get ready for the IPL, and this is what happened. It's really shocking. And also, what is shocking is at one time we couldn't find Narayan, and of course the Indian Premier League know where exactly to find him, and so he is retained. That is surprising. We didn't use Narayan in our tournament or anything. West Indies didn't use Narayan. However, clearly Indian Premier League saw some value in, especially his team down there saw serious value in him, and they retain him. So Narayan is actually, we're going to see Narayan perform again.
So, Raymond, we've always seen Narayan perform in the IPL. Andre Russell was not selected for the tour, for the Pakistan tour, but he's retained by his franchise. He had a poor performance in the recently concluded World Cup, but we see him in the T10 competition and doing extremely well. Pollard is also injured, but clearly their franchises have a lot of faith in them to continue the partnership.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. One came off injury, slowly coming to form, and the other one is on injury. Is injured, so it's kind of weird that you'd retain them and not knowing what to expect. But it's obvious that their team has serious confidence in them, and expecting flair and a lot of powerful batting and stuff like that. They fit perfectly in their team, and they're expecting more of the same in 2022 IPL.
And we're happy to hear that they have been retained. However, there are 9 other players who weren't retained by their franchises, and those include the universe boss Chris Gayle, who played 10 matches in the last edition, scoring 193 runs. There's the youngster Nicholas Puran, who played for Punjab Kings, he and Fabian Allen. So all 3 players weren't retained by Punjab.
Yeah, so I understand the Fabian Allen scenario because he's injured. I've not heard a return date for him yet, and so they wouldn't want to take the gamble. You have so much money to spend, or so little money budgeted, and you have to actually get the best value for money. And with Fabian Allen, pretty much I've not heard any return date for him. You wouldn't want to take the gamble. Surprisingly, Maya not being retained is a big surprise to me. I almost felt like he's a youngster and he could grow in the team and provide that explosiveness for the side, but he's not been retained. Chris Gayle, I'm on the fence with that. His performance has been poor, But one thing for sure, when he shows up and playing playing in India, you realize that he's always come to the party and being explosive and a diligent worker for the team. So it's surprising that he wasn't retained. Pretty much they're looking possibly to go elsewhere or probably try to get him on the cheap and not so much retain him outright.
Of the 9 players that weren't retained, we mentioned 3. Dwayne Bravo being another, Shemran Etmire, as you mentioned, Evan Lewis, O'Shane Thomas, Jason Older, and Sheffran Rutherford. But if we want to zone in a little on the Dwayne Bravo, you mentioned Shemran Etmire. Shemran had a relatively good IPL last campaign, playing for Delhi Capitals. He made 242 runs from 14 matches. Certainly, he is one of those players that will be picked up at some point before the start of the next IPL campaign.
Yeah, of course. So it's their loss. I'm certain he would be picked up. It's clear that maybe they're going in a different direction. But it's their loss if you ask me. I can't imagine why Hitman wasn't picked up. So he will be definitely picked up by another team and possibly retained if his performance is consistent and is continued. So you just have to be consistent and prepared to work and so as to be retained for another team come next year.
And then, of course, Jason Older. He had a very good IPL. He played 8 games and had 16 wickets. And if you're to average that is 2 wickets per game as a fast bowler, that's an excellent record. He too should be picked up when the action begins for the next IPL series.
Yeah, he also would be picked up by another team. I'm not certain if the World Cup form had anything to do with that, provided he was just substituted in or something. But he too will clearly have to be picked up. The other team is current team that didn't pick him up clearly is going in another direction. Felt that there was a better value for money somewhere else and as such. But another side would definitely love his service and prepare to make that bet, and have Jason Ola in their team.
Or maybe he has indicated to them that his workload can't accommodate the IPL.
Nobody will. I mean, come on, the amount of money you get paid to do this is probably the biggest earning league right now for the players. So they will not opt out of this at all.
And of course, Dwayne Bravo, who has been playing in almost every edition of the IPL since it started and also represented Shanghai Super Kings. Bravo has an excellent record in IPL overall. Considering that Bravo started out as a batting all-rounder, he is second on the list of bowlers in terms of wickets taken at 167. So Bravo definitely would have a space on any team, even as an advisor.
Yeah, naturally, he would he would. So is that's a matter of not retaining him for the current price. That's what I imagine. And then the same team that didn't retain him might just actually pick him up in the auction for the cheap. Who knows? That might just be the scenario, and that might just be the game plan for them.
So there you have it, sports DTM fans. The West Indians who never improve on their resume for them to be selected in the next edition of the IPL, the 2022 edition. They have all been not been retained by their teams. Some might be obvious form, others we're not so sure. And as Raymond mentioned, might be because the teams want to save on some funds, so then put them in the auction so that they can get them back at a cheaper rate. We hope that that is the case and all these players will get an opportunity to earn some money, earn some money and showcase their talents in one of the biggest festival of cricket and cricket matches around the world, the IPL. So big up to all these players and wish them all the best. Fans out there, we would love to hear from you as always by you leaving your comments in the comment section below. What's your thoughts on the fact that only 3 of the West Indies players who played in the 2021 edition of the IPL has been retained, and what you think are the reasons why they weren't retained by their teams? Leave those comments in the comment section below, and always remember to like, to share, and to subscribe, and to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, to tell all of them friends to come and join the Sports DTM family. This has been another episode of Sports Down the Middle. Be blessed.